Oh, come on. Show the damn thing. Come on. I don't know. Oh, come on. Let me try re-executing the page. There we go. Alright. Oh, okie dokie. Let me go ahead and get all the information up. I've built it all into the mission command, but for the sake of the prediction, let's go ahead and get that running for the next... I wish I could do increments between 10 and 15 minutes. That would be quite nice. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get HK set up for this week. Our commanders are going to be... Ah, yes, I can't use chat because the frickin' prediction screen goes on top. So, let's see. It's Settler versus Fawns. Blue 4 on defense. Who am I going to find first here? Where's Fawns? It's supposed to be alphabetized, but I guess I'm blind. Let's try Settler. Settler is Op 4. Actually, no, there's an easier way to do it. We just do this. Yeah, Fawns on Blue 4, Settler on Op 4. Alright. So... and then Fawns. And there we go. That's our 15-minute set. And then we just push back in. Alright, but otherwise, this is the only stream planned for today. I'm planning on doing some mission dev streaming after. I was going to be immediately after, but I accidentally made a small mess in the kitchen, so it'll be like 5-10 minutes after. I burnt my hot chocolate on accident. It's multitasking a bit too hard, but regardless, and the Bloodwing's in the background working on her 3D printer and on the clock, because, you know, she's a goober, but... nonetheless, let's go ahead and look over everything here. So, first off, we have a sector, a destroy cache, and a terminal. The sector worth 4 points this week. Destroy cache is worth 3, and then the terminal is worth 3. How the betting works for the predictions for High Command is whoever basically controls 2 out of the 3 objectives by the end of the round wins. For the High Command tiers of play... basically how they handle things week to week, whichever commander scores more points between both of the rounds is considered the winner. And then they just change brackets based off of who won and who lost. We also like to keep track of who gets the most kills in each operation as well as the week, because those are the people that we generally want to watch, because they're the ones that get the most action especially. Otherwise, this is Angola. We've done this map time and time again over the years. It's going to be focusing on the top right village, where we have a massive hill. I mean, borderline mountain. It's 150 meters up, overwatching this one village area here. Op 4 coming from the south and the northern airfield, going to be potentially pincering it. We do have another large hilltop over here that's about a click away, though that's usually a bit of a trap because that's a long distance to overwatch from. Nonetheless, we got some other hills on the southern side that Op 4 could potentially use to come in. We've got a lot of open area around this AO, though, so we'll just have to see what assets both sides get in terms of choice. I'll be making a note of that before we then do the full operation breakdown. Nonetheless, I hope you're all doing A-okay. For today, I plan on streaming some mission dev for the new training file, as well as finalizing Autumn War stuff for the second mission, and then if we have time, getting to other stuff, but we'll see what I have set time for. Nonetheless, hope you're all doing A-okay. Hope you're enjoying Tuesday, and hopefully we'll get started momentarily. For we have a bit, I don't even know what this is in terms of structures here. That could be something custom, maybe a stadium of some sort. That's what I'm feeling for that side. And then, of course, the airstrip is the airstrip. We got some custom, I think these are the stands, the billboards that they put down. So that's actually a good indicator of where spawn is going to be. We just look for those little billboard indications, but I don't see them around here. But I guess we'll just have to see how Blue 4 goes. It's going to be somewhere in here. I doubt it's going to be on the hilltop specifically, but Blue 4... it's an interesting call because she's right here. Hello. Regardless, we got the 2 objectives in the actual village area and then one larger one overwatching. So I'm going to be honest, this is going to be the most defensible area. However, more points are worth down in the neighboring flatlands compared to the hilltop. What? Okay, go suck up. Goober, I'm working. Bye. Nonetheless, I feel like Op4, in order to take this area, is either going to need some artillery in the form of a mortar system or just some sort of heavy vehicle. She's about to yell at me because she doesn't know the mess I made in the kitchen yet. I cleaned it up a little bit, but it's all on the burner, so that's going to be a bitch to scrub, but I'm waiting for the screaming. Gonna get my balls kicked in a second. Alright, regardless. Yeah, I'll get it clean, I promise. Don't hurt me. She's gonna kill me. Alright, regardless. There's a few different things that can play off here. Also, I didn't realize that this was 100 meters above sea level. I mean, these little positions right here compared to local. So you got some little hills right here. But this is probably, 80 to 90 meters above. So this is only about 80 meters above that area in itself because it's 160. But we could see a few different plans here. I'm going to mark things up because we apparently still have time. It's supposed to start. It was supposed to start like 5 minutes ago, but regardless. Op4, we could see them do a play around right here, come in through the neighboring village, get up to this hill, bypass to this hill, and then go in. Because everything else around here, you see 84, 86, 99. There we go. It's all flatland around that AO. So it is all a really, really bad idea. Also, my marker's stuck. That's funny as hell. Regardless, yep, that was a stadium. I predicted that. And we've got Op4 here. I'm looking for any choice of assets. I don't see any arrows overhead, though. So it looks like all we have are 250 cal techies and transport. Versus, I'd imagine Blue 4's probably infantry only at that case. What the hell? So... What is this? Oh. So Blue 4 have the choice between a mystery box, a helicopter drone, and two Special Forces Land Rovers. No, not Land Rovers. Those are, gosh, they're either called Coyotes or Jackals, and they have scoped 50 cal. Or they can take 3 static machine guns, 2 remote designators, and another mystery box. I'll look into that mystery box in a second. But where's Op4's choice? There we go. Okay. Op4 can either choose a prop plane with 50 cal and a Huey with 7.62 on the side, or they can choose a BTR-80 Alpha and a BRDM. That's tough. Let's go ahead and look at where Blue 4 and Op4... excuse me, let's look at the mission details. My bad. So again, Blue 4 going to be holding the terminal site, the sector, and the cache. Op4 trying to destroy or hack all 3 of them or take them over. Whoever gets 2 out of the 3 objectives wins it for this round. Otherwise, briefing for this scenario, 1,500 meters of render distance, fortify points 175. Fortify color is going to be green, and it's a 55-minute round. Otherwise, Op4's kits are going to be Special Forces Angola kits. So we've got some souped-up AK... I think 74s with skeletal stocks and NPZ railings. We have some... Oh my god, what is that? That's the, I think M60E4? That's the weapon that they tried to have compete against the 240 Bravo when the U.S. military was moving from the M60 to another gun, and they chose the 240 over that. But it's pretty much the same type of weapon. It's technically the E4 model. And then you got the Mark 14 for Marksman, RPG 7s, and, oh, yeah, we got that frickin' the KSV K12.7 anti-material rifle, and then we've got the Maz and the RPG for medium anti-tank and light anti-tank. Otherwise, you got 2 pickups and then 6 transports. Blue 4, meanwhile, their loadouts is going to be infantry only in addition to, the choice they make. Otherwise, 1 York, so I'm assuming these are British Special Forces. We got those L85s. Oh, little bull pop. G3 marks... Actually, no, I forget what the British designation, but that's a 7.62 20-round. It's like an 418, HK 418, but I forget the British designation for it. And then you got their FN Mag, which is their, version of the Mini-Me. Or not Mini-Me, goddammit. 240 Bravo. That's it. Basically 100 rounds, 7.62 by 51. And then they've got NLAWs in play. Which makes sense, because they're either going to be fighting armored assets or they're going to be fighting those. The L129A1, yeah. It's... NATO uses the same cartridges for everything, so, you know, they just have different designations for their weaponry. Looks like Blue 4 is going to be favoring this choice. They already have one of the vehicles out. They're looking for the other one. I'm going to quickly look in their Discord. I want to give you an exact definition of what the asset choice is between Blue 4 and Op 4, because I always find that curious when you're given a choice for PvP, because that basically broadens what you can use for both sides. So, looking at Blue 4 have 2 Sapper teams, so the ability to place mines, and then their commander can either choose their Coyotes. Okay, 2 Coyote HMGs with a Land Rover Snatch FFR, which I'm assuming we just saw it. It's over here now. And they seem to be struggling with that a little bit, but looks like they got it. And then the Falcon drone, and then a cargo box with 2 UAV terminals. Or they can get the 3 M250 cals, a cargo box with 8 anti-tank mines, an M24 marksman rifle with, what is that, 50 rounds, 10 5-round clips, and then 2 UAV terminals for 2 remote designators. I'm going to be honest, if that 24 was more of like an anti-material rifle, you know, something that could penetrate the BTR, that would be a lot better of a choice. Because the M24 is going to be worse, because it's the same caliber than the whatever designation of marksman rifle these things are. So, especially since it's a bolt action versus a semi-auto. Meanwhile, Op 4 get the sniper team and a heavy weapons team, 6 pickups, and then a T-41 Mescalero, which was the plane you saw, with the 50 cals, and then the UH-1H. So plane taking off the leader. Zixme joined into leadership to take that, and then Settler's going to be flying around the helicopter. So Ground Command being aggressive today with his assets. Let's see what Zixme can do with that helicopter. He's one of the best PvPers in all of HK. I have seen people take plane assets and absolutely dominate with them, and if there was anyone to pull something like that off, it would be Zixme in terms of prediction control and whatnot. So we'll just have to see how the rest plays out. Meanwhile, the front... no, I honestly, an SR-25, I mean, that's the U.S. equivalent of the marksman rifle. That's still a 20-round 7.62 by 51 NATO marksman rifle, technically. But something like an M107 or an M82 or an AWN even, if you didn't want vehicle penetration but you wanted to, like, guarantee killing your opponent, like, torso up, that would be a decent call. But otherwise, 50 cal already coming in and doing a strafe from that T-41 that Zixme's on. I think he's just opening up with initial harassment here. Otherwise, Blue 4, they've set up a pretty big defensive area here. You see Op 4. Look at that. I literally said this would probably be the best plan of Op 4 going in to try to take the hill. Blue 4's tried to send a few people up. But I don't know. I feel like that BTR-80 Alpha also wasn't something to snooze on, because you could use that to literally snipe out enemy positions from afar. Air support, you're just going to have to get lucky on whether or not you actually gun people down, because you can only really have gunners up here. You got Rigel on the side. I'm not sure he can sit down in one of the side slots and use that marksman rifle, but we'll see later. That could be a possibility, or they just use it as a mobile sniping position. We've seen that in PvP before. It almost never works, but on the times that it does, they do get a handful of kills, but I'll be honest, it doesn't really change the scope of the game. But it's still something, a really creative idea of getting above your opponent's cover and just plocking them on the top of their head and guaranteeing an insta-kill if you can get the shot. So another 50 cal gun run here. He's focusing. I see what he's doing. That is genius. He's penetrating into the building because he has an exact marker of where the cache is, and he's trying to destroy the cache with the 50 cal rounds to pen into the building. I don't know if he came up with that or Settler came up with that, but that's really smart. That gets him the first objective done within the first few minutes. He's literally just lining up gun runs until he destroys the cache. That is the creative, out-of-the-box thinking that some of these commanders can come up with to basically win the match early on. Meanwhile, Op4's jumped up on that neighboring hill I called out. Blue 4 had a few defenders up here. They are quickly taken out. We got players like Depso, Kevin, Kremet up here. They are some of the better players we see in PvP. Cheeseburger especially. Normally you see them paired up with players like Zixme to really make this shock and awe effect, but we have other Op4 players coming in from the south, another gun run coming in, and we don't see Blue 4 really trying to line up any vehicles to stop this air assault going in. Now it is a bit difficult for him to line up and hit this cache here, but that is crazy that we're seeing that in play. I just hope he's able to cook the cache off, because I think that's going to be his only job, and then he'll land. Tumpsters, thanks for the tier 1 sub, buddy. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Yeah, they put RCOs on top of their AK-74s. That's funny. You gotta remember, this is all magnified. He's doing medical. Also, he's got a shotgun. They're gonna try to take a captive and interrogate him. That's funny. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't consider it cheating, because Blue 4 can either set up 50 cals to literally shoot the plane out of the sky. Speaking of, you have the Falcon drone flying overhead. Or they can take their Coyotes and use the ACOG 50 cals on them to pretty much gun down the plane as it comes in. Because they're going to be a lot more accurate with those ACOGs on them. And Zixme has to basically fly in on a straight line in order to get that accurate hit there. So I think that just creates an extra layer of PvP. And there goes the cache. It creates an extra layer of defense to me that we aren't accustomed to seeing, but is a totally fair tactic in my opinion. But it just shows that, you know, this is commander-based PvP. They gotta think on the fly. And it's not like Zixme came in and did that in one gun run. That was his third or fourth. So Blue 4 had ample time to go, holy shit, we need to redeploy those Coyotes and set up a defensive position on that cache. They chose not to. And I'm gonna be honest, that also gives one less objective for Blue 4 to manage in the early game. If they still hold the other 2 zones, they're fine. So I can see where some people who aren't accustomed to it would say that that's kind of cheating. But at the same time, you got to understand HK, these guys have been doing Arma 3 PvP longer than I've been commentating it. So if they've specifically chosen to do something a certain way, I respect that choice. Yeah, he literally had a shotgun on him. They stripped all of his weaponry. They're actually trying to, like, resuscitate him. Now the 50 cal is going to start firing on the hilltop. I really don't understand why no one's in that 50 cal trying to gun that vehicle down. Got the FM mags firing. They got 230 scopes on them. But this right here is the best asset to shoot that thing down. It's got the caliber, and it's got a freaking ACOG on it, so it could easily line it up. I agree. I would say it's a great use of assets, and so far, Op4 has been doing better with them. Blue 4 are using these mobile sniper platforms for static defense. I think that's a major mistake. This is this is the deadliest weapon on the field. It is a scoped, perfectly stabilized sniper rifle that can one-tap any infantryman as long as you hit him in the torso or the head. So the fact that it is being used on static defense, and it doesn't even have anyone on it. Look at that, there's 2 dead people up here because Zixme lined up a really great run. He's got credit for 1, but we see 2 bodies up here because sometimes it doesn't credit, but... Oh, that's your own helicopter. You muppet. Oh, thank God the round decided to... I forgot. The Blue 4 drone has NLAW jamming in case their own player base decides, hey, let's shoot it down. Oh my God. I think the rocket ran out of fuel to keep projecting itself forward, because that's meant to be like a guided munition forward, and yeah, oops. So yeah, I think the drone's just up here to do overhead, but I'm curious if someone's going to get like the 50 cal next and try to shoot it down. That was something. So Op4 have a really solid defensive line. They're forming up another route down to the south. We do see these guys going mobile here. They're probably going to try to claim one of the hills to the south and give these guys something to do. But I feel like Op4 is in a much stronger position right now based on everything that's happened. I don't know, just looking at the casualty count, Blue 4 going to be up to, I think, 5 at this point. 2 in the garrison, 3 up front. You do still have T unconscious. Yep, Malin died early, too. That's a shame. But I'm curious to see if that plane... Oh. The duality of Zixmi. He just freshly ragdolled. Where did his plane go? I think he bailed out. He clearly fell out because he's wounded out here, but what? Where did his plane go? I thought he would maybe go back and land it because he just ran out of ammo. But that's going to be a long walk, buddy. Now, we still have the helicopter in play, but I'm going to be honest, that's going to be more so as a scouting asset or maybe firing at the hills, or maybe they'll try to shoot down the drone. You can see where the camera's looking. It's literally looking over this open area to try to figure out where stuff's coming from. But I want to see if the... yep, they're going to shoot at the drone. He just can't seem to lead the weapon right. There it is. He just has to hit the main rotor. Drone realizes it's under threat. Now they're taking fire up here. Helicopter drone diving. And something just got hit. I can't tell what specifically took damage, though. It sounded like the UH-1 took a bit of damage, but not by much. And we still have this long-range fighting between the riflemen on Op4 and Blue 4's Echo team. But again, long-range optics on both sides. Now we got that marksman rifle. Honestly, this was like a freaking 418 to me. But yeah, now the drone is over enemy territory and is getting engaged. We have a wounded guy out here. Sam got knocked out. Another helicopter hit. Engine going down for the drone. RPGs got fired at the Blue 4 Bravo element there. Helicopter drones down. I really do feel like Op4 has better control of their assets. Yes, we had Zixmi crash land out there, but I think it was just out of ammo. Now you got Blue 4 in this open area. Op4 this nice battle line on the ridge. I mean, these Blue 4 guys are going to get cut down. Swiss cheese at this point. Losley doing the only smart thing here and trying to run. Blue 4 should be popping smoke and running at this point, because they're just going to get picked off out here. Op4 with a really nasty ambush, and that's the other vehicle that Blue 4 had. The other Coyote was with this group, and it's now gone. Op4 have total asset control. We got Pierce and Salt counterattacking on their own against the other Op4 position. Smoke's finally coming out, but they're too far to properly block. Op4 can just look over the smoke and continue to engage. That's another knockout. Curious to see what these two Blue 4 are going to do. We got Pierce timing his grenades. He is a maestro with these. Can perfectly airburst them, but he needs to know where they are. We got something engaging over here. That could be Op4's quote-unquote heavy team with the mortar, and that is Lolo with that mortar. Got a lot of spent rounds here. Looks like his rounds are falling short, unfortunately. And most of this team has been pretty cut down. I think it's cut and dry who's going to win at this point. Op4 are up 2 squads. They've taken a few casualties here and there. That's to be expected. But Blue 4 don't have the infantry to hold this hill from an Op4 pincer maneuver. So eventually we're going to see a vehicle charge in. UH-1 is probably going to provide support. Mortars are going to be supporting. If that vehicle, the Coyote, is still alive out here, and Op4 steals that and starts using the 50 cal scope on it, they're just going to pick everyone off on the hill at that point. Blue 4 lost their drone. They've lost one of their Coyotes is stuck on a hill. The other one is down with a bunch of infantry. Looks like they're trying to drive it out now. And they can't. Hold on. Nope. He's figuring it out. Yeah, they're just moving it. Nemesis is taking it so he can use the 50 cal on it. I think he's going to try to put it on this ridge and try to snipe Op4 coming out. Or he's going to pull it out and try to maneuver maybe Echo back. But I think Blue 4's only hope is, funny enough, going to rely on Pierce actually getting a few kills here and sneaking around. Because everywhere else is kind of screwed. Pierce gets one gun down, but gets knocked out by Grass because he's unable to line up the shot. I'm not sure why Salt didn't come up and assist him. He's just chilling back here instead. Damn, he's got... Yeah, that FN mag would have been really, really useful in CQC. Now you got the mortars locking up on these hilltop positions. And that is scaring Blue 4. That's making them route in various areas here. Op4 have an opening to move. The question is, will they? We do see some maneuvering being done by Op4, but it's a little... By the time Blue 4 goes up and recruits those positions, Op4 is not going to be across just yet. And I think we saw Op4 try to do a bit of maneuvering with this group right here, but most of them were cut down. We've got Uda dead. He just died, but Seismo and Sam are knocked out right here. I think they were trying to be a three-man team to move up and potentially engage that group. But now here's where Op4 could still lose. Overwatch fallacy. You got way too many people on the hilltops not actually moving in, and you only send small teams ahead and basically defeat yourselves in detail because you have way too many people on the hilltop covering, quote-unquote, while the groups on the ground moving in, the infantry, they're just kind of going in and getting cut down because even though you've critically weakened your opponent, they still have enough to hold against the five-man teams that you're going to send in at a time. Don't get me wrong, you still need a group to cover the infantry advancing, but that's where you put, like, your one or two machine gunners and your marksmen, and that's all you need. Talking guns the rest of the way. One machine gunner opens up, and then as he reloads, the other machine gunner opens up. Keep that position suppressed. You could have your Huey also suppress those positions, but you just need to focus on suppression at this point and making your opponent keep their heads down. That way your infantry can get right up to the position and take it with a numerical advantage, because you always need that when you're attacking. Now we got the 50 cal cars over here. They're firing small bursts to try to be accurate with iron sights to knock these people down, but again, limited effectiveness. Honestly, Op4 has been given a lot of pickup trucks that can take at least 6 to 8 people. That's what they need to be using to maneuver right onto the bottom of the hilltops. So, for example, with these two positions, Op4 needs to maneuver to this little position right here, just a direct line from around. And that way they're in perfect coverage of their own guys. They got to be careful about grenades and charges being thrown over, but if you have enough distance, like at the foot of the hill right here, you should be fine. So I'm curious to see if Salt will get up and do anything on his position. Dawodox is the only Blue Force survivor from that squad that pushed up and got caught in that kill zone in the open. But the real question is going to be, how does Op4 now maneuver forward? I think Zixmi got picked up. He ran back and he grabbed a vehicle. But if Op4 gets too complacent and they allow Blue 4 to reform their lines despite being down 2 squads, I think Blue 4 still has a pretty solid chance here. And the way this AO is designed is you have to go for the hill first. If you try a vehicle bum rush into these two objectives, it could still work because you might be able to, get the terminal and get the cash as Blue 4 have a majority of their forces up here. You'll still win the round, but you're really risking it to attrition at that point. It can be done. And based on how these are designed, the rounds, I would say, it's possible. It's definitely more than possible, but Oh, that attrition's gonna suck. You're basically going for winning the round, but not the week, because you're only getting, 2 out of the 3 objectives. If you want to get a perfect score, you gotta take this hill first, and then disseminate down into the other objectives. Which, granted, Op4's already done a great job of taking out the cache early on with airstrikes, but now it's just a wait and see. And we still do see Blue 4 have people firing at the helicopter. But I'm really worried about how Op4 is doing this. They're literally sending a 5-man team down, but they have taken the... Okay. This is where the game's going to change, in my opinion. Op4, if they're smart with this asset... I mean, from right here, you could literally back it up and have a view top on that hill and potentially snipe people with it. Already going forward. You could just out-attrition the forces down here. But now, that is also an escort vehicle for vehicle charges as well. And that is a great vehicle to have because you got the scope 50 cal. You have the forward M2. It would technically be a mini-me since it's British. But regardless, it can put a lot of firepower down and do a lot of damage. No, it's an FN mag. Okay, it's a 7.62. But yeah, this is the good vehicle for taking out those positions. And again, I'm curious to see what Salt's going to do on that one spot. He's still staying hidden. There's a lot of Op4 on him. But you got Op4 slowly making moves here. Even if they just sent that team up to go claim that vehicle, pull it back, and then do a vehicle charge, I mean, that is a good call. Because now they could also use that scope 50 cal, but we also have the Huey trying to fire from way above. They're not going to score any kills unless they get incredibly lucky. But again, it's pulling attention away. So this is a great strategy to do, but only if you're charging forces forward. And now you've got a 4-man smoke push. Yeah, I'm a little worried that this is going to get Overwatch fallacied, and Settler's too busy flying the helicopter to micro the units on the ground. So yeah, you'll get maybe, if you put 4 guys too, maybe 2 or 3 will make it. 1 guy gets picked off from the defenders here, but then you only have 2 or 3 guys to fight, what's a 4-man group over here, a 4-man group there, 4-man group there, 5-man group there. It's going to get out attritioned out. And if Op4 continues that strategy, it's going to very much favor the defenders here. And that's a shame. You want to time this attack to where you have a force suppressing where you want Op4 to go. Mortars landing on enemy positions, and you can time this really well. Salt gets found and eliminated by Kremet. All right. Was kind of expecting that because he wasn't making any moves. Eventually, the defenders are just going to patrol around thinking, hey, we already had 1 guy come up. There might be a few more. All right, here we go. So, Op4 sneaking a vehicle around, putting it right on the hilltop. You got some mortar smoke being deployed, so Op4 can push right in. That's a better call there. And that might be because Zixmead's now in the AO to coordinate. And they do... I'm not sure they're allowed to pick up enemy radios, but... we have mortars going right on top of a neighboring hilltop. It looks like these are smoke mortars again, so they're doing a great job of just marking positions down. Now it's a matter of getting the rest of their forces maneuvered up. I think they've got way too many Overwatch positions. They need more guys to push in. But at the same time, if they only send, groups of 4 or 5 forward without any additional support, that's going to really help favor Blue 4. I love what they did here. They used a smoke round to range the mortar and then just put a massive HE barrage on the hillside. That's a great call because the smoke mortars can really help you spot where the round lands because it just generates a massive plume of smoke. So you can do that to basically stop Blue 4 from looking out in a position you don't want them to, and then just load some HE rounds, jiggle the gun left and right, and you can have a really great spread, and that did result in a knockout. Though he has a shotgun. Nuzzy on the side here with the marksman rifle, up 2 kills. He's got an MOS scope. I think he's going to bide his time here. Oh, no, Gregory finds him. And Gregory gets a beautiful headshot on him. Though 2 and 1. I mean, it's always good to go positive on your KD instead of negative or neutral. Yeah, jiggle the tube, Sam. Come on. You of all people would be able to respect that. Inder gets knocked out, possibly by the suppression. But look, now we're seeing more Op4 transition up. Zixmead's driving that with the groups up here. I think they've dismounted the mortar and packed it up because they probably used all of its ammo. Now you got all of Op4 moving off of that Overwatch position. More Op4 down here.
Streams again.
A little more smoke going out. I think this looks like mortar smoke actually, but they're gonna join up with the vehicle down here. They're utilizing the 50 cal as a suppression weapon to basically hit these areas here. I mean, that's smart. Op4 is now successfully transitioning up. They only have one far Overwatch position suppressing the tall positions as the rest of the infantry on the other spots start to move in. Op4 also doing a really great job of wrangling the infantry so that they're not overextending. Though we still see a bit of that here, but this group didn't push out too far. They grabbed that vehicle. Now they're waiting for the rest of the Op4 from the hill to push towards them so they can make a more powerful, unified assault. Lishan, thanks for the 15-month resub, buddy. It has been a while, but nonetheless, hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend. Welcome back. Hope you get a nice kick out of this PvP stream. Yeah, at that range, I mean, it's not going to do much. The 240 suppression. I mean, if we were to literally put our camera right over Murphy here and line up that vehicle, so he's being suppressed from a vehicle 83 meters away, and he's shooting at targets 800 meters away. He can still be effective at suppression, but it's not going to have too much of an effect. All right. We're now slowly coming up the position here. GL's perfectly ranged on that position, and it's going to be knocking out some of the cover too. That's forcing Blue 4 to pull back. Look at that route there. And I mean, that was the next hilltop ridge position. UH1 still doing suppression from above. You got Audricep, yep, with Mark 14 suppressing from the side. Not even suppressing, he's trying to pick people off. 240 gunners on the ground. Excuse me, mini-me gunners on the... damn it, FN Mag gunners, there we go. Are still doing their best to suppress the helicopter. I went from 762 to 556 to 762 again. Blue 4 really trying to pull everything back here and reconsolidate, but... Now we got the rest of Op4 folding off that position as Op4 are making literally putting their foot on the base of the large hill where the sector actually is. I think this is the beginning of the end at this point. You got an entire team down here. Looks like they were trying to do a massive flank around and then hit Terminal 1, but they broke their wheels, plural. So they might have to get the helicopter to come pick them up and deploy them close. Got to be careful because Blue 4 does have N-lock capability. So at a few hundred meters, they could just put a rocket... I don't know if an N-law's guided or not. I think it has limited lock-on capability there. Speaking of, that is an N-law taking out an entire squad. Or... I don't see a launch. That could have been an AT mine because this is a sapper team. So the sappers might have actually just gotten a full squad wipe there. That is the entirety of Fedin 2 down with the vehicle. Oh. An interesting turn of events. Will it be enough to stem the tide, though? I'm not sure. It definitely just swayed back into Blue 4's favor. Op4 still going to be doing some uphill assaults here. But that flanking force, if it was allowed to develop, would have been a massive problem for Blue 4. But the Sapper teams, I think they either did that with... had to have been an AT mine to be that precise. I thought originally it could have been a rocket launch, but I don't see a spent NLAW tube anywhere. Did you guys hear a launch sound? Because I also thought I heard one, but it could have just been an AT mine detonation. Liru, end of Blue 4 curse, entire Red 4 squad dies. Yeah. Welcome to Arma 3 PvP with Lance Corporal Liru, where if I think one side's winning, I'll just caster curse them, and then things turn around in an instant. All right, how's the game changing? That was going to open up a third flank. This group got its wheels partially repaired, so it's going to now move up on Terminal 1. So now it's just a matter of can Blue 4 stop firing at the damn helicopter. Notice how cocky it's getting. But that's also going to be distracting the far back positions. But we still have pretty solid areas here as Op4, as they trickle up, are going to be engaged by bunkers and whatnot. So it's not over. But if this team successfully takes Terminal 1, it's going to be an Op4 victory. Blue 4 could still win the hill, but if Op4 takes Gregory 1 in against Blue 4 Golf 1, it's going to be like a 5v4. Let me actually, yeah, so 4 people with a Sapper team versus 6. However, it is a Sapper team. We just saw what the other Sapper team on Blue 4 did. They got an entire squad wipe, so anything's possible here. But I think Op4 now don't have the manpower anymore to take this hilltop. We do have the stolen Land Rover right here, though. We do have another squad coming in from the rear. That's going to be 5 more. But I think the rate at where Op4 are trickling in compared to Blue 4 still having solid defensive lines, I think Blue 4 have an advantage here. Twig King marauding on the rear with 1 kill. If he picks up an enemy weapon and confuses weapon ID, I mean, strategies like this are superior when the enemy is so spaced out. And if there was one person to pull it off right now that was on Blue 4, it would be Twig King. So he's going to spot Thomas here. Opts to throw a grenade forward. Doesn't get far enough. Gets the knockout on Thomas there. But these guys don't really react to it. Yep, Twig King's going to clean house. Maxic folding to the left here. Twig's going to run up and double tap Thomas just to confirm the kill. But it's going to be maneuvers like what Twig King's doing that are going to actually stop the Op4 offensive there. There's the next kill. Meanwhile, Sapper's down. We've got some forces deployed on the outskirts here to pick off anyone that tries to move on the flank of the team that comes in. Smart call by this group here. So it's Gregory 1 and Demo 2. 2 3-man elements that can move in, but I'm really worried about what the Sappers might have rigged up. If they're smart, they've rigged up multiple buildings with explosives to stop the Op4 infantry from getting the cash. But I think the UH-1 should be now supporting that because that'll make or break them for this round. Meanwhile, you still have Twig running around. He's going to possibly transition to the other side. We have a lot of wounded Blue 4 on the ridge here as they tried to pull back. I mean, the numbers here are pretty even. Helicopter just took a hit. Engine's still going. So looking at Blue 4, they still have all 4 men. Eric Hiru's trying to come around on the rear here. Op4 pushing in, Zixme in the lead. I mean, this man is a bloodhound. But he is a victim of his own hubris sometimes. He would be the one to run into an explosive trap. We have an AT mine right here. Another one right there, 3rd one right there, but I'm not seeing any anti-infantry mines. I'm not sure if they have any explosive charges either. Zixme runs up, gets, I believe Tackleberry was in there. There's some double tapping shots. And I think Twig was just taken out by some of the Op4 elements coming around because I don't see him up here anymore. Now we do see Op4 trying to... No, that was a Blue 4 guy trying to pull back, and he got taken out. We got Hashiro over here now doing Overwatch. That's pulling a big chunk of Blue 4's attention away to that ridge. Op4 down 1 person through a knockout, but Blue 4 down half of their infantry. Eric Hiru now covering the terminal itself. Lolo gets caught in the open banks, unable to make the kill. And the rest of Op4's Overwatch element are smoking and moving in. I think Terminal 1 is going to be lost unless we see some pretty epic plays here. Meanwhile, Jamera up here firing at some people. Puma crosses forward. Jamera notices and starts suppressing. And manages to get the kill before Buma can properly pull out and get him. But Jamera slides off, gets one-tapped and knocked out. But Camera doesn't finish him off. Op4 utilizing the stolen bulletproof Land Rover to basically provide cover but the rest of the Overwatch element is still hell-bent on trying to take out the UH-1. Utilizing that helicopter, pretty much distracting the second and final line of Blue 4 up on this ridge. However, as soon as it goes away, then you have people start getting picked off right here. Look at that little keyhole that he got shot out from. Rocket goes well overhead. Gregory missing that shot. Looking back over here. Op4 trying to focus on getting Lolo back up. They're waiting for the Overwatch element to come in. And you just have the helicopter now just doing passes here. No new KIAs up here, but it's just harassment at this point. But look at the amount of Op4 infantry that are still alive. It's only a handful. But now you got the UH-1. It's flying closer. It's getting knockouts. Nemesis gets knocked. Helicopter's flying even lower. It's just going to be a machine gun fight, but we do have two. Oh my god, we just caught that on camera. So I think Gregory finally got his RPG kill. That's 3 kills for him, but he just headshotted one of those FN mag gunners with an RPG. Damn. We have another body up here that could have been either the guys down here or the helicopter. Nemesis still knocked out. The rest of the forces up here are just getting picked off. Fawn's doing his best to command, but I think this was just a matter of who was coordinating their assets better. Ooh. Rocket to the face. What a way to go. Depso now trying to run into the terminal building. However, the fortifications dug right here are going to make it hard for him to actually run in. Arakiru tries to flank around, ends up in a one-on-one. But Arakiru, with that fire immediately down on Depso's face, manages to land the kill, but that one lasted a little longer than I think it should have. Meanwhile, you got Adricep pushing up, knocks out Fonz with his M14, throws a grenade in here, taps everybody else. Look at that, Adricep clearing out that position on his own. Helicopter landing back here to pick up the Overwatch element. It's going to fly them into somewhere. Sector still not officially being taken yet. Blue Force still have that number advantage in there, but with Kajanovic potentially leaving, wait, there it is. Sector officially being taken as Adricep double tapping bodies. And we potentially do see a perfect score for Op4 today. Last RPG snipe we caught was SL Dreams a few weeks ago in FNF. He literally fired like 400 meters up a ridge and managed to hit someone square in the face. It's always in the face, too. Ah, takes headshot to a whole new meaning. We'll see where they decide to drop the helicopter off. I'm going to be honest, if I see that the sector is being taken, I would just drop them off by the village because that's where they need it the most. 24 minutes left on the clock. We still see some Blue 4 getting some pickoffs here, though. Maxic is down. He was the survivor when Twig King was coming around to get kills here. It looks like Jamera got killed off after he slid down the ridge. Yeah, you just have Samuel here doing his best to hold. He's on 2 kills. You know, good on him. 8-cog L85 is a good weapon to have, but... Oh, Cheeseburger, I think, just got Arakiru there, and the terminal is going to be taken at this point. Banks, the only one alive. Cheeseburger gets knocked before he can touch the terminal. And Banks gets killed off by Zixme. And that's GG. 20 seconds left on the timer for the sector to be captured. Op4 have a solid number advantage in here. Terminal's about to be interacted with. GG. What'd you guys think of that round? I'm going to be honest, I thought Op4's asset use was amazing. Not perfect, but compared to Blue 4's asset use, I think the assets really made the difference here. Op4 then mismicroed a little bit of their assault. Blue 4 capitalized on it pretty well by taking out an entire squad on a stolen vehicle, but I think there were way too many people on the back line focusing on the helicopter rather than the ground. That and the fact that Blue 4 tried to push a group out too late and they got cut down and lost their vehicle and Op4 stole it and then used it to further suppress positions. I think just that combination of mistakes on Blue 4's side and the loss of 2 squads early on is what really sealed the deal for Blue 4 to lose this one. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're going to assault these ridges back here, don't go directly from your position to their position if it's not the absolute beginning of the match, because you're going to potentially get caught in a kill zone. What you want to do is instead go around. And we saw a few times here where Op4 tried to do that. They tried to go around. They went around over here to assault this position from the north. They went around with one of their teams to assault from the side, and then they tried it a third time, but that's when they ran into a Sapper team and got blown up. So 2 out of 3 is not a bad ratio to have in Arma 3 PvP, but you got the remaining vehicle here now getting picked off. Lolo, underscore Lolo, our Lolo is picking people off from there. And Orin, I think, is the last Blue Force survivor at this point. He's taking shots from the rear. Terminal has 35 seconds on it. Is Gregory going to find him with that stolen? Yep. Oh my god, Orin with the CQC. He's stolen an AK-74. Of course, where are my manners? The team with the AK-74 use one, right? And unfortunately, then he goes down to an AK-74. All right, if I have a moderator, I'll pay it out to Op4. Otherwise, we'll be starting with round 2 momentarily. There was no need for an Audrey Hotto trigger because Op4 already won. That's Ron. That's Ron. Jamera on 5 kills before he got slid off the hillside's pretty funny. Op4 won that. Ignore that. Oh, yeah, it is when... No, it's Tuesday. Damn it. Yeah, comment by admin Lamau. Because it got it wrong. Before always wins. Alright. We'll be back in a moment after these messages. If I don't play it, Miller will come into my house and shoot me. It's how Arma works. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. Alright. Prediction paid out. I'm gonna be honest. I saw that happening cut and dry. The one weakness of the plan, though, would be if Op4 trickled their infantry in and it looked like that was going to happen. But too much Blue 4 had A, already died, and B, were focusing on the helicopter. They were even focusing on their own helicopter, their own drone asset, which was also kind of weird to see. Oh yeah, and then I just got poked with this in the beginning when we saw them trying to take that Blue 4 guy. They were trying to just take a prisoner for fun. I'm gonna be honest, usually the side that is having more fun wins the PvP match, but that's also the side that's like outright killing everybody. Poke missing, great that you're back. Did we cover HK last week? I think we missed OFCRA last week. Because I had something IRL come up. But I forget if it was HK or OFCRA that we missed. But nonetheless, I'm trying to cover everything that I can, but July is the month for vacationing. Yeah, it was OFCRA fair. So, rounds will switch on the side here, and this time I won't make the mistake I made last week and accidentally hit the stop recording button and stop it between the rounds. It's meant to be one large VOD. I divide that up for the PvP channel instead, which one day we'll get back into. I don't know. I mean, the rest of that round was pretty cut and dry, though, in terms of why the attackers won, the pitfalls that they almost fell into, some great plays by Blue 4 nonetheless, but at the end of the day, it's a combination of everything that happens, you know? And it's all just me stalling because I'll have to go up and clean the mess I made in the kitchen. Oh, accidentally overboiled the damn pot while I was downstairs. Whoops. Well, the attacker won because of collapsed stock AK superiority. No, it's not because of the collapsed skeletal stock. They won because they had the power of the AKS-74U. If we really want to, like, play specifics, Kismaki, I mean, there is no gun better for Arma 3 PvP than the legendary AKS-74U. Like, even being partially tied to the gun, since I think these were just standard AK-74s with skeletal stocks, it still makes all the difference. Yeah, Blue 4 didn't have piece of shit L85s, but... Let's see. Random bits of news. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 12:30 in the morning, we will be having some ops. The reason for that is I looked ahead of the schedule. If you type !schedule, you'll notice on the weekends. Last weekend, we had a lot of good ops. But the coming weekends, and even like Thursday through Saturday for one of them, there's going to be a period between now and the 24-hour DayZ op where we don't have any Fridays to play DayZ. Ha. Crazy. So all the extra stuff we have from that DayZ stream, because we kept killing the server on accident, we're going to roll into the 24-hour stream to start it, and just have a massive backlog going. And I think that's actually for the best because it'll, you know, keep everything going with that. But between that and everything else, I have to basically have a few additional op slots. And I know not everyone can make them, and they're definitely favoring Europeans, which I think is great. It's rare that we do, you know, a subset for the guys over across the pond, but that's just where we're going to be running some extra stuff. Because otherwise, come August, I'm going to have a massive backlog that is going to take me multiple months to get through. And I just can't really afford that. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to be having, I think, 3 Arma ops on a Wednesday. 12:30 is going to be the start of our new training docket. We've got some drone teams, we've got some vehicle teams, we've got some sapper teams, all trying to do different goals. Should be quite interesting from all the background research I've done and interviews with some guys on, you know, trying to get a feel for what's going on the ground for that. Second op is going to be Autumn War Phase 2, so more team leads with anime faces fighting zombies. And then if Blue 4 dies, more zombie mates trying to kill everyone. I love how that's gotten. That's what it's devolved to. I absolutely love it. And then the third op is going to be wrapping up the 506th Secret Squirrel. That's going to be the last Zeus op for Secret Squirrel before they move games. Because I wasn't able to do week 1 with them because I double booked myself and wanted to do D&D instead. And then the next one, which would be the third weekend, they're instead doing an event not related to their FTX, and then they're moving to Reforger. The poor last man in that op. Oh, yeah. Yeah, from Autumn, where literally everyone was charging them. Jay-Z was fuming. It was hilarious. But I know that him and the guy on the helicopter were either using group chat or they were using Steam chat to try to coordinate getting the helicopter to land by him. And I just asked him, like, how do you have communication with him? And he didn't want to say, because then he would have admitted to metagaming and I could have banned him for a few days because you're not supposed to do that. Just don't admit it to me, but I will challenge you. But yeah, no, that's a bit of a sad chapter for tomorrow. I think I'm still going to be Zeusing for them Arma 3 in Secret Squirrel, but now I have to have like a total, because they're going to drop all their Arma 3 stuff, so there won't be any more 506 mods. So I'll just have to make a local copy of, like, everything, but we can then play on, like, the latest Arma 3 build, which I guess can be nice, but still, that's a sad chapter. We started Zeusing for them back in 2018. It's been 6 years of Secret Squirrel. And, yeah, now they're moving games. But I think in terms of attendance, it should make things interesting, because I did promise we would make either another Isla Duala style campaign or Bornholm campaign, because I think some of the things, at least the viewers tell me, and even some of them in the 506 tell me, like, their favorite thing I used for them, for the older guys, it was Bornholm. For the newer guys, it was Duala. And I'm gonna rack my brain here and try to figure out another, like, sci-fi-esque scenario to work for them. I'm really debating pulling out Richter Von Fluffers and Catgirls, but I don't think they'd appreciate it. Especially Drum. I don't think Catgirls and Immersion go hand in hand. We still haven't started yet. But I'll think of something. I'm probably... I remember when I did Duala, to set it up, I literally binged Volgun videos. And that was years ago. That was before he got big. But I randomly found his channel and then showed it to Bloodwayne. And that would be our thing for, like, drives and whatnot. We'd just listen to, God, that was back when he was, Researcher Miller? Instead of Dr. Miller? Yeah. But, no, like, that gets me in the mood to come up with some, like, crazy sci-fi bullshit. Because I remember Bornholm, I was still learning Zeusing and whatnot and making plots, and that was just a really cool, you know, sci-fi turned SCP experience that just kept people surviving. And people like the ability to, you know, keep their kits and work with the local force that was slowly eroded. Duala was all pre-planned. That 4-mission campaign, I literally had the entire plot line down to a T, and then multiple bridging butterfly paths of, hey, if they do this, this happens. If they do this, this happens. So we could probably run Duala again like 4 times and get a different result every time. And if I forced them to make different choices, I think there was like 9 different ways that campaign could have gone. Well, Kismaki, I mean, again, for the next few days, we have ops at 12:30 Eastern Standard, and that's at least 5 hours ahead. So if you want to come and make ops, dude, we have them. And I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to keep at least 1 or 2 of those slots, because that will allow me to run more ops. And then, you know, I can focus on some small-scale stuff, too. You know, actually, that reminds me. Let me go over to my main channel real quick. I gotta look at the poll. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That was on the music. Whoops. But I want to see what won. I have a feeling I know what won because we put an op poll because it's now the second half of the month, so I'm going to be putting out a few ideas for ops and teasing them. Wow, it wasn't even close. Why did Catgirls win? Second place was Blowing Up the Sun? Really? I thought that'd be last. It was a close tie for last place. It was 9, 8, and 7% for everything else. I thought ChimpCon would win. Damn. An op about escaping as monkeys? Ah, damn. Just goes to show that clearly my viewership has no taste. No, I'm just kidding. I can't believe Blowing Up the Sun won second place, though. That's wild. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to rerun a few things with that, but nonetheless, looks like they're pushing forward, so let's go ahead and rerun the prediction here and just switch the names. So now it's going to be Settler defending... No, wait, no, this is wrong. Why is it not pulling... Oh my god. Alright, hold on. It should be pulling from the previous mission, but it's not. So Fonz is now attacking, Settler is defending. Just one more time, let me verify Settler's on blue 4. Cool. I'm gonna change the music up. I'm a little bored of this. Too casual. Want something a little more fun. But yeah, I mean, we're doing... I'm trying to do a lot in terms of different ways to monetize everything, because I have an endless flow of bills. Though we heard good news about the wedding fund, and I might not have to raise a whole 40K, but I gotta talk to my family about that. Nonetheless, at a minimum, it's gonna still be like 30K, but that's why we're doing all these additional ops, all this additional DayZ stuff, all this other crazy shenanigans, just so we can keep things going. Because it's, you know, bills on top of all that, but I digress. Oh, second round will begin. Let me make sure I loop the music properly. Oh, no, that would be... Because here's the thing. We don't just have to do ChimpCon. We can do a whole, like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes thing. But I think, again, like, those 5 ideas alone, the fact that Blowing Up the Sun actually won second place, I'm definitely going to have a really interesting document. Because what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take the stuff that wins, I'm going to put it towards the closer end of the document, and the stuff that doesn't win, put it towards the end of the document. So all of that stuff is still going to be factored in. But... you know, if something, like, really doesn't win, then sure. But if it's something I want to do, I'm still going to put it on the doc. Stream the wedding? Absolutely not. Gonna be honest, though. You and me both, anyone watching, we're not going to know half the people there. Because it's literally, like, 30 or so guests from my family and then 200 plus from hers, and I don't know those people. I only know her, like, immediate family here, so it's going to be a lot of walking around, meeting and greeting. But we'll see how that goes. That's not till, like, October of next year. Nonetheless, it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. Oh, she heard me. Yes, I am, honey. Blow up the sun just makes me think now, blow up the ocean. All right, DJ, I know you're a Borderlands 2 Assault on Dragon Keep Tiny Tina fan. Just from that phrase. And the fact you put it all in caps, you are a Mr. Torg fan, and I love you. I will always remember that line from that game. Where you're just doing random side quests in a D&D style world, and the guy just goes, all right, now I want you to blow up the ocean. I love him. I love him. What was your main on Borderlands 2? I was always a fan of, what was it, Axton with the turrets? If one to me goes, yep, I know she was Mechromancer. Frickin' Gage. If I had more time, I'd probably do a playthrough of Krieg, because he's got such a nice story. That's what I should do. I should get Maya, not Maya, I should get Bloodwing, make her play Maya, and then I play Krieg. That would be our adventure. I know you can, I just need to find time for it. Which, I mean, we've cleaned up a lot of the house. So, hopefully that'll give us some more time, but, ooh, good God. What are my opinions of the movie? What movie? I know that... What movie? Exactly. You mean the Guardians of a Galaxy spinoff? Yeah, we have Borderlands at home, and that's the Borderlands at home. Look, I don't want to knock it. I saw the trailer a while ago. I didn't really get Borderlands out of that. There is no war in Boss Sensei, yeah, right? Like, it's just... I didn't... Let me just make sure that... Yeah, okay. I didn't really feel... Like, it felt like I was watching something that was inspired by Borderlands rather than Borderlands itself. I feel like... What's his name? Keith? Kevin Hart? Yeah. Kevin Hart as Roland for casting... I feel like is the worst choice possible. Like, I feel like someone like Denzel Washington, they needed someone more serious to play Roland. Instead of a comedian. And nothing against Kevin Hart. I love his acting. But for more comedy-focused roles, he doesn't really do serious that well. And Roland, I would say, is like the one character that doesn't really... He doesn't really have that comedy side with him, you know? Now, where's Brick? Where's Mordecai? Like, it was what? It was Roland, Lilith, Tannis, and Tiny Tina. Like, those were the 4. Like, if you're gonna do it with the OG 4. We're in an age of video game show adaptations where they either hit really, really well, like The Last of Us, or Witcher Season 1, or they hit really, really poorly, like Witcher Season 3, or any, like, Resident Evil spin-off, you know? Same map, yeah, the second round is just they switch sides. Yeah, I heard the League of Legends thing. I mean, there's a... Yeah, Bloodwind just screamed it was really good. I mean, the D&D movie I also heard was pretty good. It just kind of missed its demographic, but... Yeah, no, like, those were okay. Like, okay, there's a few... I'll concede to that. There are a few that are kind of in the middle, but, I mean, again, usually it's, like, really hit or miss. I agree. I think Fallout was one of those things where I think they walked a really good line between respecting the lore and creating their own story. And while I agree that I don't want to spoil anything in case people still want to watch it, but you should have by now. And I've got a really cool story for what Bloodwind and I did for binging the Fallout show. But what they did with the lore, I think, was really radical, but it fit. And it set up a really cool potential Season 2 that I'm actually excited to see. Now, it's Amazon, and Amazon has also made things like the Rings of Power, which... I don't need to explain the shit show that was, but really it could go either way. But it's clear when you have people that respect the IP and respect the lore going in, and you saw that with Fallout, you saw that with Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us, they had their own, like, creative... they had people from the game actually, like, come in and help direct everything, which I think was solid. But Halo, I refuse to believe is legit. Halo literally had Spartan 117 clap some Covenant cheeks, alright? That's what I tell people who don't see the show, and that's what you should expect if you watch Halo. Which I think they've already said it's like a spin-off alternate universe. Fine, whatever. I'm just gonna sit here and meme it and not watch it, because my god, that is funny. And what I've heard, though, from people is, we'll get to this in a second, but I've heard people really enjoy the action scenes in Halo. And, you know, that's fine. I'll be honest, I love good action scenes, too. I don't mind watching clips of the action scenes, because I think they do it really well. It's just... the director and that actor that plays John don't know how to do... how to basically handle John as a character. Because, I mean, they did it with Mandalorian. Mandalorian Season 1, I remember their argument for having Spartan 117 constantly take his mask off is people can't bond with a masked character. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here looking at Mandalorian Season 1, and I'm like, yeah? Yeah, buddy? You sure about that? So some directors are just fucking brain dead. And they don't understand their audience, and that's Hollywood for you. But, again, some stuff is hit or miss. Anyway, that all aside, let's cover what's going on here. So, this is going to be a flip of both sides here. So now we have Settler commanding the defense. In the previous round, he basically took all objectives and won the game off the bat. So we'll see if he is now able to hold at least one objective. He'll win for the week, but for the sake of the predictions of this round, he has to hold at least 2 of the 3 objectives in order to win. Those objectives are a sector, a destroy cache objective, and a terminal site. Meanwhile, Op 4, in order to tie for the week for the commander, Fawns has to pretty much get a perfect score. But again, for the sake of the round, he will win this round if he gets at least 2 of the 3 objectives. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and look at the mission details. 1,500 meters of render distance, 175 fortified points. Fortified color is going to be green, and it's a 55-minute round. Otherwise, Op 4, they are AK-74 users with M60E4s. Mark 14s for their marksman rifle. Light anti-tank is going to be the RPG-7. Medium anti-tank is going to be the Maz, and then they have a 12.7 sniper. They've got 2 pickup M2s, and then 6 transports. They also have the option of either having a plain T-41 Mescal with with two 50 cal pylons and a UH-1H with two 7.62 pylons, or taking a BTR 80 Alpha and a BRDM. Looks like they're going to be choosing the helicopter and the plane. We'll see if they recreate Zixmi's tactic of destroying the cache early with those planes' guns. Nonetheless, Blue 4, look at this. They're actually fortifying it, knowing that it could be airstruck, so they're adding fortifications around to prevent the airstrike from happening. That's smart. But it looks like Blue 4, they had the choice of either 350 cals, additional AT equipment, and then UAV terminals for these two remote designators, or they could take a helicopter drone, a UAV terminal for that drone, two Coyotes with scoped 50 cals and those FN mags on front, and then a bulletproof Land Rover, which of course, constantly suppress it becomes not so bulletproof, but I digress. Anyway, Blue 4's loadout is going to be British-based forces, so L-85s. Both sides get magnified optics, by the way. We saw a lot of RTOs with Op 4. Blue 4 had a lot of ACOGs and SU-230 scopes, but they got FN mags for their machine gunners. Someone said the designation of it, but it's pretty much a 418, 7.62, 20-round marksman rifle for their marksman weapon, and then they get NLAWs, which are capable of locking things, I think, only a few hundred meters out, but, I mean, that's their AT, essentially. Regardless, we'll see Blue 4 probably fortify the hell out of this hill here. They're putting some fortifications around the destroy objective to make sure it doesn't get rushed and destroyed, and I think that is a benefit to what Blue 4 has here. They got a perfect score in the last round, so they're able to now, set up fortifications around the cache itself. I'd say keep a vehicle around, a 50 cal or something to, AAA out the plane if it tries to do gun runs, especially a scoped one off of the Coyotes, excuse me, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Otherwise, let me go ahead and go through the roster, because I didn't think I did it for the last round. So Settler commanding Blue 4, Gerald, Jerma, Waljak, Gregory, and Audrey Sip on Alpha 1. Jamera got 6 kills last round. He was the top person that got the most kills last round, so we'll see what he's able to do on the defense today. Otherwise, Wicked Quartz, Marty, Rambo, Vambo, Rocky 19, Skipu, Jason, Monkey Enjoyer, Grishkov, Maxic, Templar, and Tomaz all together in Bravo 2. Safe zones just dropped. Lolo, Salmon, Seasmo all together for Delta 1. Echo 1 has Watts, Killer. Oddball, Whiteside, and Duitson. Foxtrot 1 has Lolo and Zixmi. Foxtrot 2 has Rigel, Q-Boy, Demovar, and Ibnomane. Kremit, Kevin, Cheeseburger, and Depso, and Golf 1. Hotel 1 has Nassau, Wombat, and Masano. Bonds commanding Op 4, Alpha 1 has Ash, Daggleberry, Eric, Kiru, and Banks. Boyer 1 has Samuel, Lewis, Kajonovich, James, and Orn. Chekhov 1 has grouped everyone together. Whoa! That was a mortar round. Did Op 4 just try to spawn trap Blue? They're off. Oh my god. That's one of the benefits if you go second now, because Op 4 do have a mortar. They're trying to spawn trap Blue 4 right off the bat. They're short, thank God, but wow. I mean, yeah, Op 4 literally sniped the cache last game, so now Op 4, after the scene switch, they're now just trying to mortar the spawn. That's funny as hell. They're trying to walk the mortars up with no one to spot them. I mean, they could potentially have their air asset spot for the mortars using smoke rounds first, but that is an evil tactic, and I love it. Oh my god. Anyway, Chekhov 1 has Pierce, Salt, Nuzzy, T, Toms, Rizbo, Ember Rose, Murphy, Bursty, Henry, Snotchbear, and Mangario. Dima 2 has Uda flying with Charles, MLG, and Grass, Cass, Cullis, and Jasper. Infedin 2, Gregory 1 has Nemesis, Puma, Iander, and Malin on the mortar, immediately trying to spawn trap with it. I love it. Tweak King, Curtis, Cameron, and Crazy on Hashbarrow 1, and Elano 1 has Pogo _. Meanwhile, Blue 4 utilizing the defenses to make the helicopter wave off as it was trying to gun down the drone. Plane trying to fly in. Looks like it's trying to figure out where to do runs here. Maybe scout out some positions to potentially strafe early on. That's another thing the plane could do. It could, just strafe infantry instead and get quite a few kills if Blue 4 groups up. We did see Zixmi in the plane last round get 2 kills on his final run. I think his 4th one after using most of his ammo on the cache. And then they're just digging a bunch of fortifications around to help prevent the cache from getting destroyed. But we have mortars firing over here. I want to see, where's Malin? So Malin's literally trying to spawn trap with the mortar all the way back at base. That's only a 60 millimeter though. So it's got limited range, but the rounds, I mean, this is the kill zone he's making. gonna be honest, I think it would be better if... Spawn trapping is so risky when you have a far AO like this. If that was an 81mm, it would have the range to potentially spawn trap a lot more effectively, but mortars are so much better if you just go behind a hill locally. You dismount the mortar behind, put a guy in the hill, range with the smoke rounds, and then you can just absolutely deck any position. You could even level the entire damn town with that thing if you wanted to. But pre-firing to try to spawn camp, it's... or spawn trap, technically, because there's no respawns to camp, but it's such a weird call, and I could have sworn that that helicopter was firing at their own plane for a second. I was about to go, what the hell are you doing? Then again, we did see a Blue 4 member with an NLAW fire at their own UAV drone last round, and I wouldn't be surprised if those blue-on-blue instances now went on red, but still, I do appreciate we do have one of the UAV operators here. I'd be willing to bet it's not Settler commanding it. We did have a Blue 4 group rush up here, though. That's forcing one of the vehicles to barrel overhead. So Blue 4 rushed a group up over here, probably with the Land Rover or something, in order to get this far out, but they're now going to be taking some of the far positions. I called in the first round that this would be a decent position to have, but it's really far to prevent any proper overwatch, but Op4 actually are trying to go on it. And what kind of scares me about this AO is Blue 4, they've taken some of the local positions here. It's forcing Op4 to utilize these much farther overwatch positions. And then you got a much more flat kill zone here. This is a tough one. Again, we said the previous route that Op4 ended up actually taking to go along the rear here and then utilize these hilltops here and here to then push in. That was the better one because you at least had a full ridge, but doing it from over here I think is still possible. Maybe you could see some vehicle rushing into the town there, but it's a tough call, and I'm a little worried that Op4 is going to burn all their artillery early on, but now you got Op4 moving up on foot and they're getting engaged. That's the 50 cal, isn't it, with the scope? Yeah. With that ACOG, he's literally able to walk targets on as long as he's in a stable position, but it looks like they're moving him. But he's already gotten a knockout over there. But open fields versus a freaking scoped 50 cal. I mean, you can figure out who's going to win that fight. And you got the helicopter drone flying overhead as the UH-1 is chasing it. We got 2 additional knockouts right here. I mean, without any Overwatch support. And I think they're trying to do the Overwatch with the mortar, but Blue 4 have a group all the way over there as well. Op4 is just going to get their initial forces picked off, and we're just going to see a repeat of last week. It's just in reverse. Op4 is going to get picked off early on compared to Blue 4 getting picked off early on, and Blue 4 is just going to have a solid defensive line throughout. That's what I'm seeing right here. And it's because Op4 isn't really in any overwatching positions to cover. Granted, I do appreciate they've already gotten forces right on top of this area right here, and this would be a really great position to springboard off of, because technically they just need to take these 2 objectives to win. And then they could just reverse push up here, since Blue 4 have so many forces out and about. So Op4 still have that opportunity, but they don't have a lot going with it, you know? I'm also curious to see what this plane's trying to do. Because I feel like it's just flying around and doing reconnaissance. You see the 50 cal trying to put a few shots at it, but it's too slow. Rounds are trailing too far back. And why do we have a bunch of Op4 on foot moving around all the way back here? I feel like they're going to set up a suppressive firing position, or suppressing position from this hilltop to Overwatch, and then guide the infantry in through that way. That could work. But we already have Op4 already in the zone. Like, this feels really miscoordinated right now. Now you got the other vehicle marauding around the rear. That's another great thing for these vehicles to do, since they've got, you know, the 360 50 cal and then the front firing FN mag. But yeah, I mean, the scopes, the 8-cogged 50 cal can definitely shoot out down the helicopter if it gets too close. Speaking of, we have a knockout on the plane. How did that happen? That is amazing. The plane's leveled out. he got suppressed in the cockpit. I think because he flew around that hill, and I think the other vehicle's machine guns tore him apart. To knock him while he's in there, that had to have been 50 cal. So again, we're seeing a repeat of last week where one side is really utilizing their assets effectively and the other side isn't so much. The mortar was a bit misused in the beginning. If it was properly ranged in the spawn trap, I would have... Actually, no, I wouldn't have said anything different because Blue 4 already left their spawn point at that point. So it wouldn't have had any effect. Plane just got picked off before it could do any major gun runs. It's going to fly out of the map. I doubt he's going to wake up. And then the UH-1 has been chasing the helicopter drone around, which... I'm going to be honest, if they really wanted that helicopter drone that badly, they could just have the plane strafe it with the 50 cals, hit the main rotor, and it would be out. Because drones are really squishy against 50 cal. A single 50 cal round will take out a stomper. The UGV? No, that's a lie. I'm thinking of a 20mm round. My bad. No. 20mm round will. But a single 50 cal will disable if it has a gun, the gun. If it has the camera in the front, camera in the front. A few 50 cal will disable it. And then I want to say maybe 20 to 50 rounds will actually destroy it and cook it off. Same can be said for the 50 helicopter drone. So Malin's now trying to set up his mortar. Actually, he has it set up right here, but he needs people on Overwatch to walk his rounds in. Again, open up with smoke first, and then you should be fine. Now, this all being said, Blue 4 has a lot of defenders on Sector 2. They got an Overwatch group on the rear. And I'm assuming old Uda's dead? No, Uda's off map. We really need an admin to despawn that, though, because if he goes so far out, it's going to start desyncing the server. But you know, the server starts desyncing later, we know why. Mortar's still landing short, but it looks like they're starting to walk the rounds up, so if they can get it a bit farther up and take out this entire garrison... Oh, boy, let's see it. Shot right in the middle is going to get a massive multi-kill. You can see the round arcing up. Looks like it's going to be landing over here somewhere. Nope, going to be farther off to the right and just short. Yeah, he needed to go the opposite direction. So he needs to now adjust it to the right. I don't know if he's self-designated or he has someone spotting for him. Could still land a pretty decent kill here. If I were Malin, though, I would wait before the next round because he's making this position freak out. But at the same time, they don't have an artillery computer. So they have to range these rounds in. You have to make your opponent comfortable enough to re-garrison their positions to then put the round right on top of them if you're going for kills. If not, this is a great thing to do. Now it's going to be too far left. But that's a great thing to do if you are also trying to push forces up, because it forces Blue 4 to pull out of that defensive position, because if they stay, you just mortar them. Yeah, that round's going to be way off. Going to be in between these two zones. But again, that's why you should also consider ranging with smoke so you don't waste that precious HE. So he literally now needs to, like, meet them in the middle. But Blue 4 just keeping their heads down. And I think that's the number one thing I see about the mortar in PvP and its misuse. Tactically, there's a time and place to use it. And you got to get into your opponent's heads a little bit, because if you just fire all your rounds out, and by the time you get it ranged, they're all going to leave because they realize there's mortars ranging up on them. If you bait them, someone just got sniped. I think that was over here. Yeah, they got a 408. Crazy just got a knockout there. The mortar's being, not the mortar, the sniper's being more effective than the mortar at this point. Meanwhile, the mortar is making all Blue 4 run around and, you know, go prone and everything, and the sniper's still picking people off. So that is a great sniper position because he's got really good overwatch. He's got a really good elevation. He's able to basically snipe people out. And they're at a range where they don't hear him, the rounds being fired. So this is a great place, and you can see the 2 bodies of the people he's picked off. Yeah, so you can hear that sniper in the distance. Trying to hit Jasiu, and he's looking around, trying to counter-snipe. How about that? Op4 rushing a force up immediately with no support. That's going to get repelled. What are they thinking? Like, where's the supporting asset to move with that vehicle charging in? That is such a bad call. And they're going to pay for it. I mean, you have the other half of their group up here, too. Not really in a position... Okay, whatever. It's clear, though, for both of these which side is, you know, has the better tactics and has the superior pushing here. So you can't just argue it's because one side has better gear. I do love that the UH-1 is firing at this position. I don't know if they're trying to cook the cash off or they see these fortifications and think, oh my gosh, it's because they have all this stuff. And look at all the stuff they've dug to basically prevent it from getting airstruck. The mortar just, again, I don't think Malon's accounting for elevation. I think that's what's throwing him off, is because he's attacking a hill, so you have to make the tweaks in addition for those elevated positions. But let's see, we got the other half of Op4 now pushing, and Blue 4 still have a limited defensive group here, so that could turn around. I could still see Op4, if they push everything into the terminal and destroy objective, they could still win the week. These guys, though, I wonder if they're going to mount up and try to hunt that mortar. If not that, then maybe the sniper position. Yeah, you got more Op4 coming in. Kevin was trying to push around, but he's pulling back. I do appreciate what Salt's doing here. He just ran out of ammo. Oh, he had Duitson dead to rights, and he ran out of ammo. Kevin now pushing. More shots now on Overwatch as Blue Force turn around, realizing that Op4 is making an open field push here. Pierce firing back as Wiki Quartz is trying to move down the ridge. Weird call there. Mortar coming in again, it is short. Kevin now locking things down. Amber Rose ran in and got knocked. Kevin running the perimeter. He's going to check inside. No reaction. Double tap on Ember. No, come on, Kevin. Maybe he's out of ammo. Now get the double tap. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Come on. I'd laugh if Rose woke up and... Are you medicing? Oh, God, he's trying to take captives. Kevin's the guy that poked me last round and said he wanted to take a captive, so now he's going to probably take Rose as a captive. The fucking troll. I love him. He's going to get shot in the back by Pierce. He's going to end up literally in the same position as the other one, stripping them naked. That's inappropriate, sir. All right, Op4 deploying another group. Samuel getting caught in the open. Watts unable to get the kill there. Pierce just ran in and gets knocked out, and now Kevin has 2 hostages. Look at that taped mag, though. Are you kidding me with this? I swear to God, if Fonz gets out... No freaking way. Okay. Fond ends the streak of hostage taking. Oh my God. But Blue 4, we do see some people now, you know, coming into the town from the garrison up here to stop this attack. It's staggered in too much. We had one group go in, then another group run in. Now this third group running in, that's given Blue 4 time to move that Land Rover group on the other side. They're now firing on the rear of Op4 coming in. You got a dish. Yeah, actually, no, it's the same group. My bad. just stretched out across those areas. Op4 now trickling off of these positions. They're down to this group right here. It's over. Op4 have lost a big chunk of their infantry. It's over, dude. And I'm assuming Malin's out of mortar ammo. Wow. It's Lewis, James, and Orrin in the back line, but Lewis has taken a few shots from a marksman. There wasn't any coverage. Tough calls. Looks like Fonz is trying to load all the wounded in. We got Pierce loaded in the back. We'll see if Rose gets loaded as well. Though, with all the gear stripped, that does make it a bit tough to, even if they get Rose back up, you know, how are they going to get geared? He has 3 HE left. He needs to range with the smoke then, because otherwise he's going to waste the HE on ranging. And we see a bunch of smoke right here, which, again, decent, but only if Op4 are going to take advantage. Things are really miscoordinated on Op4 right now. And on defense, that's easier to do. And there goes Fonz as command. Whiteside gonna push in and find a scene. But I think Op4, which were on Blue 4 last round, we see more HE rounds. Those are either the HE or the smoke. I think Op4 were a lot more effective as Blue 4 last round is because they just were able to sit on a position and not really do any maneuvering and just hold and leave it to the squads to do stuff. Whereas previous rounds Op4, which is current round Blue 4, actually had to coordinate. And you're seeing that coordination being done with the groups with the Coyotes driving around, but yeah, again, HE fired out. It's short again. I see where they're trying to hit, but this is also a false position here because they folded a lot of stuff out to go deal with the stuff over there, but I digress. AT fired in this building. Did it actually just knock James? I think it did. Windows are blown out. But yeah, like the side with the better coordination this week has won it out, I would say. Boyer, AP, C, and D. Yeah, right? Exactly. Current Blue 4 is acting properly coordinated. And again, that's on Settler for properly coordinating here. And HK is all about coordination for PvP, and I think they've done an excellent job in showcasing it tonight. I would say the better commander won, because sometimes we see HK events where it's really, really close, and then it's just up to, do you have the better PvPers on your side, and they do win it for you sometimes. But this one is, I think, bread and butter for what HK wants to be, which is all about how does a commander take the options he has and deploy his units accordingly. And this is clearly shown what a better commander can do with the assets he's given. So you got these guys deploying. Audreysup, I think, got flung out of the vehicle early on, but we've got now Op4 trickling up on him. So here's the deal. Tuesday nights, I now have a Dune D&D campaign to partake in. It used to be on Sundays, but they moved it. It was off for like 6 months. It's back. But they start in about an hour to hour and a half, and I know they're going to start early. Great double tap and grenade by Puma. Doesn't get watch check, though. But he does get Audreysup there. That grenade might get him. Puma immediately goes thrown, knowing it got thrown. And that saves him. So great double tapping here, or double kill by Puma, or at least a double knock. He's going to get the kills now on Audreysup. Might move up and get watch tech there as well, but I digress. From what I was saying, they like to start around 6 to 6:30-ish. And this round's probably going to go for at least another 10-20 minutes, and I have to run upstairs, clean the kitchen, and I just looked outside. It's like it feels like 100 degrees outside, and I got to water my plants. So, no, I don't stream D&D. That content is not compatible with what I do. Oh, not at all. But regardless, if I do dev streaming, it's going to be after the Dune stuff, which will probably be around 10 or 11. But I need to get the mission files done. But Puma moving up. Let's even get the second kill on Watch Deck. But no, like, so there's 2 D&D campaigns I do. It's the Dune one on Tuesdays, and then it's Valkyrie, who we sometimes see in chat. She's a co-DM for that one, but she also does her own DMing on a Sunday session we do. and the characters I play are not compatible. Puma's getting red on redded. By Malin. Malin, no. Of course, the only person you can hit is on your own team. You couldn't hit anything with the mortars. Ah. But Jamera's moved up. He's seen Wojtek there. Might be able to push Puma. Lots of it. Yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with Dune, I play a Twisted Mentat. Sadistically twisted. Double tapping on Wojtek there for Puma. And then DND, it's kind of funny. I've come full circle with that one. I usually play horny characters. This is the first time where I'm not. Jamera getting a great tap on Puma, stopping him, knowing that he heard the double tapping shots on Wojtek, so he set up a little ambush and took him out immediately. Great pulling there. But he's the only one alive left on this group, so Op4 could technically steal the Coyote here if it's left behind, but it's not going to do him much good because look at the amount of Op4 that are still alive compared to Blue 4. Blue 4 won out the Terminal 1 site up here. And, yeah, we're just going to solidly hold. I think Rose got stabilized, but just going to be left on the edge of the map there at that point. So Op4's final infantry are right here, and then they still have the vehicle. Oh, no, we still have Crazy with the sniper, who has managed to line up a third kill. He's got the spotter scope out. For him, the grass here isn't going to be on his screen, but for us it unfortunately is, so he's trying to scope out and get a bit more. But I doubt Op4 can get anything here. They'll be able to steal the Vic and then maneuver in, but there's way too much Blue 4 to Op4 ratio here. You want to see the sexy goat RP? So I've come full circle in that D&D campaign. I've done so much D&D with horny characters, I've decided to make this one completely innocent. The issue is that everyone in the party, except for, I want to say, my fiance, because she's playing in that session too, are all also horny people. So they keep trying to elude this character that I've made perfectly innocent because I've played everything already and I know how to basically flip-flop it. So it's just, it's funny. And it's a Dragonborn character, so they don't even know the gender. It took them like half the damn sessions to even get a hint of that. Oh, that was funny. Good shit. Alright. Oh! Wait. Nope. It sounded like the engine was hit. They were going down, but they recovered. The UH-1Y texture in Arma 3 is one of the hardest vehicles to take out in terms of helicopters. We just had a Land Rover come up here. Looks like there was a Blue 4 guy in it, so they thought it was enemy rushing them, so they blew it up. Not surprised there. That's why you don't do that. That was Sam. He is on 2 kills, but yeah, he pushed up with an enemy Vic, and they shot him for it. Oops. Oh, well. But yeah, suffice to say, honestly, I think the D&D session on the weekend would be quite entertaining because it's a good mix of combat with other things, but at the same time, it's a lot different than what I normally do. The Dune one, definitely not, because we have like 8 people in that session, so it's a lot of me sitting around and doing video editing, and then when I'm called, I do my part to accelerate my plans in the campaign, but yeah. If there's a hole, there's a goal. Oh my god. Jamera coming around on the right. He's the only one still alive. Nemesis pushing Op's gonna spot Gerald. Op's not the double tap. Jamera, though, completely blind. Does Nemesis notice the movement? He does. He calls it in. Jamera goes too far from the tree. They knockout trade. Malin getting suppressed, though. He might not be able to come up and assist. There could be a wake-up war. Malin trying to throw grenades to assist in keeping Jamera down. Does get a bit of damage on him, though. That could affect the wake-up war. Now, what is a wake-up war? A wake-up war is when 2 people knock each other out. There is a chance after you get knocked out that you can still wake up afterwards. So the wake-up war is not only whoever wakes up first, but who is able to then get their gun on the opponent. We've had times where someone wins the wake-up, but they don't win the war part where the other person wakes up and immediately guns them down. I've also had wake-up wars where they're literally facing each other. They wake up and pull the trigger at the same time, and then they just kill each other outright because they're both prone, head forward. One bullet to the head's going to get them. Now we've got Curtis trying to do medical here, but he's taking some marksman fire, so he's unable to. Malin runs up with his handgun, and Jamera never wakes up. So they're trying to pick Nemesis up and put him in the trench. Gonna be honest, these next 32 minutes are just gonna be some Op 4 maneuvering up to the hill. We got players like Twig King still up though. Nemesis with Malin, I mean, they're really good PvPers, but are they Inner Adriado channeling PvPers? That's so funny. Helicopter tried to deploy cats to potentially sapper the cache, and yeah, they got sniped by an Enlaw immediately. Not surprised. Not surprised. All right, we got plenty of downtime for this stream now because it's clear who won, but, you know, maybe someone in Op 4 can channel their Inner Adriado. Wink. But regardless, what do you guys want to talk about again? Do you want to keep going on video game shows, or you want to talk about D&D, or something else? Give me something to go off on. Here, random segue, which I find really, really funny. The amount of scenarios on the Arma 3 workshop related to the Trump assassination attempt that have gone up and then subsequently been taken down hours later, in my opinion, has been way too damn high. Not putting any jokes on current events, but the fact that multiple scenarios have went up about it within hours of it happening, only to be taken down later, I just feel like, damn. Some of y'all work fast. Because I know how to make scenarios, I know how to dev them, I know how to upload them to Workshop, but to make all the triggers and everything, to make stuff like that work for single player, some of y'all worked fast. The fact that there's multiple too, like, good God. I want to talk about which cat girl mod will be used. So there's a few different options. We got Templar, I think he's trying to shoot out where the sniper is to keep him suppressed. There's two main options. You can either use Cox HUD, a bonus content, which has dedicated like cat ears and tails and whatnot. Or there's this one creator that creates a bunch of anime skin mods, which I'm using one of them for the Autumn Incident campaign. He has one that adds a bunch of like wolf girl ears and tails, and I'm also debating using that one. What? Did you actually just GL yourself? No. Did a GL come up here, or did you... Oh my god, Twig King ranged in GLs. That's amazing. I thought he fragged himself. Twig is hitting GL shots accurately at 377 meters. On an elevation difference. Let's see, that's 148, and he's on 90, a little below 95. So he is making a 100 meter... He literally has a pocket mortar right now. Maximum range for that GL at 400 meters. He probably just has that thing tuned at 400 meters and is firing up. That's amazing. But yeah, 40mm pocket mortar, and he just got 2 knockouts and a kill with it and completely destroyed the fortification. That would have been a lot more useful earlier in the fight if Op 4 coordinated pushing in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Triple. Fucking triple with the knockout. No, wait, that quad. With the knock... This is why people accuse Twig King of hacking. The shit he can pull with this weapon platform is amazing. He's the type of guy that understands meta. I mean, in the previous OFCRA missions on the Ukraine campaign, where it was an artillery fight, he would take a group of people out, he would go to the enemy's backline, and he would knock out all of the opponent's artillery. And then he would get super lucky with his vehicle deployment. And he would be able to knock out entire teams to the point people thought he was like stream sniping. Even though I gave him no coverage, and I focused on the frontline engagements, and I would occasionally check to see that, okay, the artillery tank's not only moved, but Twig King's group is right on top of it. And then we'd occasionally check back and see that he would just go in and be in a firefight with a vehicle that he managed to like find and pick off. Because he's smart. He turns his vehicle's engine off, listens, he hears an engine in the distance, and then he'll either dismount his guys and go take it out, or he'll just drive closer to it, turn the engine off at full speed to coax the vehicle in, and gain a few additional 100 meters of going forward. And then just ambush the damn thing. He's smart. He's one of the few players in this game that I know understands the meta properly. And he is able to take shit like that and pull... Where is it? Where is that grouping of freaking masterpiece there? There it is. He's able to pull this shit. Malin rehearsed those shots beforehand. Settings were different from the given mission file. See... Oh my god, NASA's charging Malin. NASA's taking a piss. NASA just tried to use a det grenade and put it on Malin's face and then pull his gun out and take everybody else out. That's funny. I don't know how I feel about that specifically. I mean, I get it. I guess that's just where my personal where's the line. But if you have a mortar and then you practice beforehand where to put the shots out on the mortar, and then immediately when the game starts off, you put those shots out and immediately hit enemy positions. Ooh, that is a good conundrum question. That would be up to the event hosts. But, because, again, you could argue that the plane being able to kill the cache is also bullshit. You know? So But again, technically it would be fair game. If they release the mission files beforehand, and someone really wants to sweat something like that, technically that's fair game. Now, would I allow for something like that if I were to host an event? Probably not, but... in something like this, it's fair game. Ivno just ran up and literally shotgunned this poor bastard to death. We got a shotgun kill. That's amazing. Like, here's the thing. The plane can be countered. The plane doing those strafes, I can see a proper counter for it. The mortars immediately landing on your position, there's not really a way to counter that. Which, again, is all part of why you have the mortar in the first place. But that's just, I guess, the balance brain... the balance Zeus in my head, just you know, racking that around. But again, if they pre-release the mission files, I feel like that is fair game. Yeah, no, I agree. If to knock the rounds out there, I think air resistance would be one of the options that might have been, you know, not released. And they also could have done that intentionally to prevent people from pre-ranging the shots. So you're going to have to talk with, I think, NASA, who runs the files, to see if that was done on purpose. But I could fully see that also being done intentionally to prevent people from just outright spawn camping, because no one wants to be in an event where you start off and immediately get murdered. There was a time in Friday Night Fights where they gave one side a mortar, thinking nothing of it, and then I think Falcon got on that mortar, and literally within the start of the round, he fired off like 3 rounds and killed half of the defending team in under 30 seconds, because Falcon is one of the few people that knows how to use a mortar properly. And there was a lot of bitching, and I think after that round, we rarely ever saw a mortar again. Ivno running up and getting another shotgun kill. But again, like, the mortar abuse is what gets everything. But yeah, no, I think Twig King just got run up on and shotgunned to death there. Okay, no, he's knocked out on the back right here, still with his GL out. He got those 4 kills, but ooh. But yeah, like, you also have to understand, it's still a game. And I think, like, there's a difference between cheesing objectives or doing stuff that, you know, can technically be countered, and then outright murdering a player base that spends all week, you know, looking forward to this and then immediately dying and getting mad. I guess that's where my personal line falls in on. But again, that's just me. it depends on the event coordinators to properly, you know, set their own rules and whatnot. For the mortars for tomorrow, for my op, yes, because it's modern day, and part of me wants to, like, not give you a computer, but at the same time, then I have to balance, like, the amount of rounds you get and yada-yada, and I don't really feel like doing that. Plus, what I plan to throw at you is going to require all that ammo. Yeah, exactly. You can take any powerful asset in the game and give it to a quote-unquote good player, and they will work wonders with it. Which is why sometimes PvP with assets is so hard to balance. I remember, like, T5 Bay, back when he played, him and Falcon, it's always fucking Falcon gets brought up, but you give that man an asset, and he will just start working wonders with the damn thing, which is why he developed such an ego. And why I ended up banning him from my ops, because he tried to fly that with me, and I was like, yeah, no. Not dealing with that today, buddy. Oh, man. It's 3 versus, what, like 12? Alright. Can Nemesis channel his inner Audrey Hotto and somehow succeed in defeating the entirety of Blue 4? Oh, no. Falcon, not at all. He tried to play one of my ops, and he wanted to solo crew a vehicle because it was an armor-only op, and I told him no, and then he just started bitching, and I just got rid of him immediately. Because here's the deal. I mean, he was my friend for a while because of that, but because of what we did in PvP, but you can't just come into someone that runs a community and expect preferential treatment because of a friend relationship in, you know, someone else's place of business, essentially. He got Falcon punched, yeah, right? But that goes to everyone. Like, no one... Like Dante, for example. He slotted up in one of my ops the other day, but he just slotted quietly, and then we just chilled together and played the op. There was no special treatment there. We just, you know, did things properly. Now, don't get me wrong. Once in a blue moon, I'll give my moderators, you know, special opportunities. Like, we have to run the NSFW op, or rerun it again on Monday, and they've got PvP slots open. But that's because the entire community's behind that. But I don't give anyone special treatment because I have learned if you give one person something, then 20 other people are going to ask, and then where you draw a line. It's best just to say no to all of it and then just run your own shit. No, Blackheart. And I'm keeping you away from the dogs because I know what you will do. Fucking hell. Depth, so I don't really run 7TV, so I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you can still give me op ideas and suggestions. I mean, Charlotte wanted me to put up a scenario about blowing up the sun, and I'm like, alright, F it, I'll put that on YouTube as a joke, and it's somehow 1 second place, but whatever, I guess I'll figure that one out. I'm open to suggestions. The only way I've learned as a Zeus is because people gave me suggestions or I watched how other people did things. But I have a giant Word document that's around, I think it's now less than 1,000 pages because we started doing ideas off of it, and I'm not taking any more new ones. But I spent 5 years building that up, and it's like 80% suggestions. Them's running. The other two are out here. They're already taking pick-off fire. But bring back Dr. Von Fluffers. I mean, he was on... Actually, no. He is going to be brought back, Devil, because the Cat Girls idea won on YouTube. So that's going to be put first thing on the doc for August's ops. But, yeah, he's going to... Dr. Richter Von Fluffers is going to be making Cat Girls. And I still don't know how I'm going to make that into a knot, but we'll figure it out. Nemesis with a knockout. Oh, no, I jokingly said, hey, we can, like, launch rockets at night when the sun is, you know, gone and, you know, get people out there. Look at that grenade throw. That's amazing. That is some of the luckiest bullshit. I mean, then again, if you're 1 versus however many infantry are up here, you have to be lucky at that point. But we just watched that grenade indicator come in. I think that was the end law that blew up the, No, it's not far, not close enough. Oh my god. I mean, how many does Blue 4 have? Hypothetically, we've got 4 there, 2 there, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with a knockout. So there's 14 total and 3 op 4. Camrad and Crazy coming in. Nemesis running solo. He's prone in a bad spot right here that can be overwatched, so I think he's just trying to listen to see whatever comes up to him. Rename a random player as the Sun. Yeah. There's a gear mod, though, that I used in the past, like, years ago that could give me some nice props to make something like that, but I just gotta remember what it's called. Because it has a bunch of, like, flashy, colorful things to wear. And there goes Nemesis. Cheeseburger and Kremet pushed him. Now we're just down to Camrad and, yeah, Crazy. Yeah, exactly, Sixor, and that's why he always butted heads with the admins in FNF, and I tried my best to advocate for him because he was really good, but I think without those limitations, that's why he turned into a bit of a toxic person. Oh well. Fun memories, right? Still miss those anomalies from the 40k ops. Love to hear the players panicking when they got caught in the meat grinders. Yeah. The issue is we can't really use meat grinders in 1 life ops because people get really salty when they spend all this time moving around, shooting, and all of a sudden get tapped by a meat grinder. I know I would too. The player base is the IRA. I don't think we can car bomb the Sun, but you know, we can just combine a bunch of funny suggestions. Crazy on 5 kills. He switched to a marksman rifle now because I think he used all the sniper ammo. Exactly, Blackheart. Were it so easy. Camera taking fire. 16 minutes left on the game clock. I am not going to have time to immediately go to a dev stream because we're going to have, I got Dune D&D to play. Hey, look, the drone helicopter. Newspaper called the Sun. Play it like you're doing a Stalker Evictus playthrough. All lovely suggestions, chat. RPG? Imagine being a sniper and then getting counter-sniped by a freaking RPG. That's brilliant. I think he's gonna wake up unless he gets 2-tapped by Bravo 2 up there. God damn. I think the concussive blast is what really knocked him out. Yeah, he took some damage, but it's mostly on the limb, so I think he has the potential to still wake up, but that's funny. If he caught it with his mouth, he wouldn't be alive. But damn. My caliber is bigger. Yeah. Oh, wow, Cameron actually got a pick off on Bravo 2 up there. Did he just... Did he just do what I think he just did? I think he was trying to throw a smoke grenade on the rock, and he just impact fragged the rock and killed himself. He had the wrong grenade equipped, and he just... Okay. Well, that's going to be a Blue 4 victory. We'll be back later tonight for some mission dev. Just give it more than a few hours. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operational. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. I'm off to clean the kitchen before my fiance beats me. And otherwise, cheers and have a good one.